See where my ball sat? That almost sounded really bad. And then we built a custom mounted panhard bar, or we built a custom panhard. You're gonna have to edit that part. That on audio too, so that's cool. Where to start? Right here. Welcome to the wrap-up video of this 67 to 72 K10 truck. I say 67 72 because I don't know what year it is. I think it's a 70 cab, but then we have the 67 front end. But we haven't talked to you guys about this truck at all, really. I think maybe we've seen it in a couple like shop update videos, but we haven't talked about it at all. So here you go, full video. We have a cool echo here in the building. Anyway, like I say, K10. This is on a factory chassis, but we've built a lot of the stuff underneath. So the leaf springs are custom built. We moved the front pivot about 4 inches forward so we get a longer leaf spring in there. It's actually the same length as the rear. So doing the longer leaf spring makes it a little bit softer. It's still like a 8 or 9 inch lift, so it's a little bouncy, but better than if you were to just go buy like a super lift leaf spring kit or something. We also did a lot of modifications to the front suspension other than just the leaf springs. We've got a 2-wheel drive steering box. We built a crossover steering for it, so rather than having that weird shaped arm for the steering, we put a 2-wheel drive box that shoots all the way over the other side. We have a drag link going either way. We built a custom panhard bar for it to keep the axle from shifting left to right when you're steering. We used a universal sway bar from Curry, made mounts for that, adjusted the arms, put a little bend in them and attached that to the axle. And then we have a set of 2-inch smooth body Fox shocks. Rear suspension, same type of thing, had the leaf springs custom built for us. The axles on this thing are factory front and rear, limited slip in both of them, new gears in both of them, so all new seals, bearings, everything like that in the axles. In the back, we tied the new shackle mounts together with a trailer hitch because he's going to haul his big boat out in Havasu with this thing. So we did a 2.5-inch receiver, a drop-down hitch. I basically just measured my diesel to see where my ball sat. That almost sounded really bad. Chassis is all welded up of all the extra holes. So when you look underneath there, it looks nice and clean. It was powder coated by Pack Coast Powder. The frame is like a textured black, almost like a wrinkle black. And then we did the green on all the suspension parts to kind of match the body. Speaking of body, obviously once we were done cleaning up everything, doing the 67 front end on it, we had to get new bed sides. And then even the factory replacement bed sides were kind of less than to be desired. We had to chop one of them literally in half and fix the angle, but once we had done all of our sheet metal stuff, we sent it over to Frank and all the guys over at iCandy, and they took our shitty and made it look pretty, as Frank likes to say. Mark picked out this color. We kind of sat down, looked at color chips. He wanted to keep it kind of a minty green, almost like the factory one, but more modernized. So I don't remember what we picked this out of or what vehicle this came off of, but something newer. There's a super descriptive. No, I don't know the paint code. Please don't ask. I don't ever give out paint codes. These are KMCs. I think they're called the Cleaver Wheels. He really likes these wheels because he's in the construction business. The wheels remind him of saw blades. They're a 22 by 12, and the tires are Nitto Trail Grapplers in a 38, 13.5, 22. Behind the wheels, we have bare brakes, same bare brakes we use on everything basically. 6-piston, 14-inch rotor, drilled, slotted, vented, all that fun stuff. Frank did some of the paint work underneath, like the steering box, which that's actually a good point. Like, we matched the powder coat pretty darn good. The steering box is painted and the sway bar arms powder coated, and you can barely tell them apart. We're running GSI polished door handles. The cab is all sealed up with precision weather stripping. Mirrors are factory, wipers are factory, just repops so they're nice and shiny. Up front we have the standard 67, 68 front end, but we are using the smooth bumpers from Brothers, front and rear. So these are tucked in a little bit, reshaped a little bit, and no bumper bolts. So nice clean look. And then under the hood, you ready? Come on, come in and look. Come and look. Look under the hood. We have a set of all-American billet hinges, which you saw go up and down real nice. They stop where you want them to stop. They can go all the way up. These are just regular panels that we got from Brothers Trucks that Frank painted, but then we built this whole radiator cover. So this covers up the CNR radiator. We've got all-American billet reservoirs on either side, coolant and power steering. We've got a Don Hardy. This is a 416 cubic inch stroker LS3. Don built the motor for us, and he knew what we were doing with it, so we built this one a little bit more for torque than horsepower. So I want to say the torque was right around 600 or so foot-pounds of torque, but the horsepower was like 570, something like that. ABS power brakes for our master cylinder, which is like an electric vacuum. So underneath the truck we have a vacuum pump with an accumulator on it, and that keeps your power of the power assist brakes at the master cylinder. We have an all-American billet pulley setup. We built the intake and powder coated it, the kind of texture black. Oh, slosh tubs, forgot about those. These did the same thing on my Blazer a couple years ago. These are slosh tub mild tubs. And I really like these on lifted trucks because they go all the way down, all the way to the bottom of the fender, front and rear. So it totally closes everything out underneath. So closes nice, factory latch. All right, inside the truck, we left it, I think, pretty tasteful in here. We did upgrade the radio, so we've got a double DIN Frenched into the dash there. We have Dakota Digital, HDX gauges, Restomod AC controller right here, and then the vents under here. Steve did all the interior, so built this panel under the dash, did all the carpet. You got speakers in the kick panels. This is a Snowden bench seat. Like I say, Mark's just going to use this truck to take his boat to the lake in Havasu, so we had to have cup holders for beverages. Built a little headliner piece. Steve did that and stitched that up along with some sun visors. And then door panels, again, left it pretty classic looking. We don't have door locks on this one, so this is something cool we've done on a couple trucks. Built a little armrest here, especially if you're hanging your arm out the window and it's hot. That'll help out a ton versus being right on the paint. Built specialty steering wheel, and just clean and simple. Forgot to tell you on the chassis also. So the engine is that LS3 and it's backed by a 4L80 transmission. And then we have a twin stick Atlas transfer case. So this is a 3-to-1 2-speed transfer case, which for the off-road guys will know what that means. But basically we can select either front or rear outputs of the transfer case. And then each one has a low, neutral, and high. So like normal driving around, the front's in neutral and the rear's in high. Not that this thing's gonna be like a crazy off-road rig, but you know, on a boat ramp, you might get some spinning tires, so you could drop that thing into four-wheel drive or engage your front axle and have four-wheel drive to get you out of the boat ramp. You'll notice when you back up and shut the door, we built some amp steps for these, and then they're gone. Speaking of disappearing stuff, we hid the gas filler back here too. So the gas filler's in the taillight. This has our tailgate latch kit, so very easily opening tailgate and very easily closing tailgate. No slamming, no yanking, no pulling. All right, so that's a wrap. Everybody keeps asking for more videos. This thing was done, so we figured no better time. I'm actually gonna drive this out to Havasu on Friday, which is about 3 hours, and deliver it to Mark. And then we'll catch him out there hauling one of his boats around. He's got a couple of them. So anyway, thanks for watching. Do the YouTube stuff that we tell you every time because it helps us out. Subscribe, like the video, leave us a comment. Tell me what you want to see next. Maybe we'll change some stuff up. All right, bye.